All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we take a step away from the mainstream. We talk about the indies, indie news, indie shows, all the good stuff. But first, we're going to be starting off with a brand new edition of 5 matches not to miss featuring CZW. Take it away, Kevin Hawk.
Yeah. CZW.
Scary.
I've decided this is an appropriate week to get these guys out of the way. No offense, it sounded a little ruder than I meant it to be.
that did say, yeah, it's like...
But it's for your safety, because we know you're not a big fan of the ultra-violent things.
I'm...
When done well, they can be amazing.
Yeah, I'm a fan. It's just some of it's hard to watch.
Yeah. I think it's cool as long as they're not using violence as a crutch.
Yes. But there are some people that it's like, that's all they do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's their thing.
Yep.
That's Sandman.
You just called out the Sandman?
Yeah.
You want him to fight you in real life?
Yeah. Come on, bro.
I wonder if he even lifts.
Yeah. Beard. And kendo sticks.
Literally.
I think I'd rather fight Sandman sober. He seems more dangerous when he's drunk.
Probably.
Way more erratic. Yeah.
I'm way more liable to do a hurricane run from the top rope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little scary.
Alright, so we got 5 matches from these guys, and not all of them are ultra-violent matches either. But we're going to start with an ultra-violent match. We're going to start with Cage of Death 6. This was a double feature Cage of Death. Yeah, no. This was, I think, the only year Cage of Death had a double feature main event. But we're going for the second half. This is an 8-person elimination Cage of Death between Team Cash versus the Blackout. Now, we've had a hidden annotation in a previous episode that was a clip from this where, at the time, Sabian, now Black G's, was being hurled off the top of a cage.
It's like fucking
by Chris Cash.
Sit out, pile driver, fucking weird ass thing through a table.
Yeah. The idea behind this match was 2 guys started, very much like War Games. They would alternate, each team would alternate a person in at random, it seemed like, the time was. And an elimination, to eliminate the person, you had to force them somehow to, well, you could either pin them or make them touch the floor in some way. So, I mean, most obvious way is you'd have
Penny on the floor.
throwing them out of the cage somehow, or there were 2 rings in this bridged over by pieces of wood, so if you were able to break them through the wood and they would touch the ground between the rings, they'd also be eliminated. This featured...
Still sticking with my strategy.
Yeah. Blackout, which was Ruckus, Sabian, Eddie Kingston, and Jack Evans. Versus Team Cash, which was Nate Webb, Sexy Eddie, and the late J.C. Bailey, and the late Chris Cash. And this was my first exposure to Cage of Death, which is why I picked it. And it really blew my mind, because I had seen some of the King of the Deathmatch tournament stuff from CZW, and to me this was a big stark contrast, because there was actually a pseudo-story being told during the match. And it was for the tag team titles, which was kind of weird, because there was 8 guys, 2 teams of 4. So I don't know who actually ended up coming out with the tag titles at the end.
They just let the champs retain, because they didn't know by the end.
There's way too much shit going on.
Fuck.
What do we do?
You guys keep them.
Yay!
I actually think whoever was on the opposing team won the belts. Because Blackout was defending. Team Cash won? I don't know. All I know is there were a lot of insane spots in this match. Sexy Eddie did a moonsault from the top of the cage wearing a garbage can.
Wow!
So he did not garbage can covering his whole torso. So he couldn't even see where he was going.
Yeah, that doesn't sound safe. Also, garbage can is not the word you expect here after wearing a...
Yeah.
Wearing a...
I was thinking...
blank.
Dress? Apron? Hat?
Nope. trash can.
Jack Evans is in a spot where he's getting eliminated, and he's going to get pushed off the cage, seemingly to go through a table. I think he kind of has a bit of a panic moment and clings onto the cage for too long, which then causes him to spiral out of control and actually completely miss the table. Fuck. Kind of his own fault, though.
Yeah.
And then, like we said, Chris Cash eliminating Sabian and himself with the cash flow off the top of the scaffolding that was on top of the cages, through a bunch of the tables down to the bottom. So lots of crazy stuff happened in this one. They used thumbtacks too, which, you know, is all the more fun.
On a lighter note.
Yeah, right? But that one's really fun to watch, and yeah, if we can find it, it'll be down there. I'm pretty sure the whole thing you can find on YouTube.
Yeah. Any and all matches we can find links to will be down in the description.
Yeah. Moving on, away from the ultraviolence, we're going to go to the finals of Best of the Best 5. This was the first year that Best of the Best would culminate with a fatal 4-way match. It would normally be a one-on-one match. And this would be B-Boy versus Kevin Steen versus Mike Quackenbush versus Super Dragon.
Damn, fuck yeah.
Talk about just multiple clashes of styles.
Yeah.
But all very fluid people.
All in-ring technicians in their own special kind of way.
Yeah.
These guys can go.
Yeah, everyone added their own something special to this match. And I like it a lot, to me, because it was like the Best of the Best tournament is a big special day out of the year where Combat Zone Wrestling says, hey, guess what? We also really like good wrestling. You know, and occasionally they'll do it like the King of the Death Match will defend the King of the Death Match trophy on Best of the Best. But that's like the only thing you get that's kind of in that vein of hardcore wrestling.
The rest of it's just straight wrestling.
It's the tournament itself.
That's awesome.
Which generally starts as the first round is usually almost all 3-way dances.
Neat.
Yeah.
Wow. I like it.
Also, it was the year Mike Quackenbush wins Best of the Best.
Spoiler.
So, yeah, spoiler alert. Mike Quackenbush wins, and he's one of my favorite guys ever. So,
Yeah.
I'm celebrating that victory.
Yeah.
Let's go to... Which one of these do I want to pick?
The next one.
Yeah, fast forward, the most recent match on the list, September 8th, 2012. It is a title unification match. CZW used to have a junior heavyweight title, and they did a ladder match to unify it with the Wired Championship, which is still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a ladder match between A.R. Fox and Dave Crist from Irish Airborne / Ohio is for Killers. So two definitely, you would describe them as high flyers, but also big athletic guys too. Not like the small, skinny high flyer types. So a lot of versatility going on in this match, and you know it's a lot of people were kind of like wanting to see A.R. Fox lose the belt because he kind of snuck his belt out in shady fashion, and but at the same time, a lot of people didn't even want to see the unification match happen because a lot of people liked the junior heavyweight championship.
Was there a difference between the two?
Yeah, the Wired Championship is basically their intercontinental championship. So they were phasing out the junior heavyweight division.
It's like putting the European and the Intercontinental title together.
Yeah. But yeah, so watch that. I won't spoil the end of that one. Watch it for yourself. It's fun. I promise.
Air Fox wins. You can cut that. I have a 50% chance.
That's true. He picks Dave Crist just to make it even.
Who do you pick? Post in the comments.
Yeah.
Right now.
Who do you pick for a match that happened almost 3 years ago.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you know you're right, put spoiler in front of your comment.
Does that make it disappear? There's a way you, like, on some websites you do that where, like,
Yeah. There
you
is.
can hide it if it's a spoiler.
No, but YouTube does that.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Especially not if you just put the word spoiler.
Yeah. Alright, but yeah, a ladder match too. So,
Ladder
those
match
are always
is fun.
entertaining. Now we'll do a couple years
That one.
earlier to that, yeah. On February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, in 2010, at CZW's 11-year anniversary show, we would have Jon Moxley attempting to become the CZW Heavyweight Champion against B-Boy, the reigning champion. This match was approximately 18 to 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Right in that time frame. And they were basically non-stop go the entire match.
Yeah.
Where they really, I didn't see really much of a rest hold, not very many slow spots. And even in the spots where they weren't like wrestling, they were still hitting each other.
Yeah.
So they
These guys hit hard, dude.
Like B-Boy stomping on Jon Moxley's face.
Yeah.
they it's just like having constant movement throughout the entirety of the match from beginning to end.
Bowel movements.
Hopefully not.
It would have been a really messy match.
Absolutely. But yeah, Jon Moxley, who we now know in WWE as Dean Ambrose, would start a very, very impressive reign as CZW champion after beating B-Boy in this match.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. These are all spoiled except for one,
Yeah.
which is just guessed. And you know what? I won't spoil this last one because this is the finale. This is Cage of Death 11.
That's a lot of death.
Yeah. And it's a one-on-one Cage of Death
The
match.
company is called Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yeah. And there's a lot of death.
Yeah. Between Danny Havoc and Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan is now in NXT.
Trying to be in NXT.
You might have seen him that one time when Sami Zayn won the championship, and he showed up in the big group of people wearing a suit.
Yeah.
That's his claim to fame right now on the TV.
And he clapped for Sami Zayn.
Yeah. They hugged, actually.
They did?
Yeah. This match featured one of my favorite variations on the Cage of Death, where we had two upright cages, which are the typical Combat Zone Wrestling cage, which are like this yellow, wiry kind of looking substance. They're just really thin little bars, but they're yellow and very unique looking. And then the other two sides were lowered to like a 45-degree angle, and the yellow bars had been replaced with basically the same crisscross pattern, just made of barbed wire. And then each of the two panels on each side of these sides also had a pane of glass.
Also out.
And then each of the corners also had a pane of glass.
And there was a scaffold.
And there was a scaffold on the top that had the same sort of premise, where it had its own giveaway walls on the side that were made of glass, and a big hole in the center of it with a pane of glass, and then a little rope ladder coming down that was supporting two other panes of glasses. Panes of glass?
Yeah, panes of glass.
Panes
of glasses.
Just made
Pane glasses.
That's the kind I wear.
So
This ain't for seeing, it's for hurting.
let's just say, if nothing else, you'll see a lot of glass in this match.
By the end of this, the whole fucking ring is just...
It looks like it's snowed.
It's a fucking beach of glass.
Snow and blood.
Yeah. No spoilers on who wins this one. Just be ready for some violence,
It's fucking gnarly.
Someone bleeds.
innovativeness,
No.
and the winner gets a present from Necro Butcher.
Blood.
Here is blood.
It's just, he gives them a box. They open it and it's just blood.
Full of blood.
Well, it's a transfusion for all the stuff they lost during the
Oh,
match.
shit.
Hope I
But
got
yeah,
the right blood type.
there's a like, what is it, like AB positive or whatever? It can be shared either way, or is that like O negative?
Yeah, something like that. If you know,
Typo.
post in the comments.
Yeah.
So yes, there's 2 Cage of Deaths to watch in this list. There's 16 in total. If you want a Cage of Death
more
a
than
thon.
2.
But yeah, I got 2 Cage of Deaths on here, a Best of the Best tournament finals, a title unification ladder match, and just a straight up wrestling match.
Yeah.
Friggin' A.
Pretty good.
CZW, that W stands for wrestling. Don't forget, people. Yeah, they might be known primarily for their ultra-violent style, but they do more than that.
Yeah. And don't forget that Z, it's very important, stands for zone.
Which is the place where they do all that wrestling.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's enough of Combat Zone wrestling talk. We're going to move over to a Ring of Honor talk. This guy's got some, what is going to be going down at some upcoming TV tapings. Mr. Colt, take it away.
I do indeed. This coming weekend, January 30th and 31st, we have 2 Ring of Honor tapings going on. The first one on Friday the 30th in Dearborn, Michigan.
For some reason I thought you were going to say the 13th, which has already happened, the 13th.
That would make me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or uninformed as to
Or
what day it is.
time travel.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, in Dearborn, Michigan, we've got an entire card going on here. We've got Tommaso Ciampa taking on Tyson Dukes. We have Hansen taking on BJ Whitmer. Jimmy Jacobs versus Tadarius Thomas. Michael Elgin versus Mark Briscoe. Matt Sydal versus Matt Taven, which Matt is better. A TV championship where Jay Lethal defends against Mr. ROH Roderick Strong. The first time ever, Alberto El Patron takes on ACH. And for the ROH championship, Jay Briscoe defends against Mike Bennett. Who will
Interesting that entire TV tapings doesn't have a tag team match yet.
Nope.
All singles matches.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, singles night.
Also,
I like it.
Also signed to appear, The Romantic Touch.
Well,
Singles night.
he's going to try and get the right pairings together.
And the next night, January 31st, Saturday in Dayton, Ohio.
Just a short drive away from Dearborn, Michigan.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
It was
Now I
not
want
from
speed
here.
wrestling to be a thing. It's like speed dating. You can have a bunch of different rings, and you get like 5 minutes with each opponent, and like the bell rings, and you have to go to the next ring and wrestle.
That's fucking awesome.
They could do that at the
We're
Performance
going to
Center.
make this a thing.
Yes, in Dayton, Ohio, we have Unbreakable Michael Elgin taking on Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson.
Oh.
I knew that one.
Chris Dickinson. It's Combat Zone Wrestling tie-in.
Yeah.
He's a current Combat Zone guy. Team Pazuzu.
We have Tommaso Ciampa taking on Mike Bennett. Hansen taking on Matt Taven. Alberto El Patron taking on Roderick Strong. And in our main event, we have the Briscoes taking on ACH and Matt Sydal.
Ooh.
Also signed to appear
That's
are Jay Lethal with Truth Martini, BJ Whitmer, Jimmy Jacobs, Romantic Touch, and more.
They want to romantic touch some more stuff. Hype it up.
And from tapings that happened last week, there was the triple threat between Hansen, Elgin, and Ciampa to determine the number 1 contender. It went to a no contest, and a huge brawl ensued. Jay Briscoe offered to go into a fatal 4-way for his ROH championship, and it has been granted. On March 1st in Las Vegas, Nevada, there will be a fatal 4-way or a high-stakes 4-corner survival ROH World Championship match where Jay Briscoe will defend against those 3 monsters. So that's going to be one hell of a title match.
Yeah.
It's going to be very physical, very demanding from all these guys.
Yes.
It's crazy to see how far Hansen's come in 1 year.
Yeah.
He was like, we just had the top prospect tournament happening for this year. He was the winner of last year's tournament, and now he's in the title picture at their anniversary show.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Good on Hansen.
And next week I should have updates on who wins top prospect tournament and more matches signed up for the 31st tapings and probably going into February. That is all I got for ROH. We're going to move on over to Kevin Hawkins.
AAW Chaos Theory is, as of recording, is going to be tonight,
The 22nd.
23rd.
23rd. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's technically the 23rd.
Time travel.
Yeah. We do know the AAW title is going to be on the line. Eddie Kingston defends against Josh Alexander. Dan Lawrence and Marcus Crane defend the tag team titles against Ryan Boz and a partner of his choosing. I'm crossing my fingers for Heidi Lovelace. The Hooligans take on Zero Gravity in a double dog collar match. Davey Vega versus Lewis Linden. Ethan Page versus DJZ of TNA Wrestling fame. And
They're
we
on
found out
Destination America.
that Shannon Moore's debut will be one-on-one against Chris Sabin.
That's gonna be cool.
Uh,
I like Shannon Moore.
I like Chris Sabin.
I like them both.
yeah.
Me too.
And then we have 2 days later, Sunday, Philadelphia, the ECW Arena, the 2300 Arena, whatever you want to call it. It's Chikara, A New Start, their first show of the year. It's going to be a big one. We've got Ophidian versus Noken. All the points are on the line. Both guys are up to 2. The loser walks away with 0. The winner walks away with a title shot.
Number 1 contenders match.
The Batiri will face Incoherence, Frightmare, and Hollow Wicked in a tag team match. There's a lot of history between the Batiri and these guys, back from the Dark Army versus Spectral Envoy feud. The newer team, Team NRG, will face Colony Extreme Force. I was wrong. Last week, it's not Arctic Rescue Ant and Orbit Adventure Ant. It's Arctic Rescue Ant and Missile Assault Ant.
Oh, okay.
We'll also have the regular Colony versus the BDK contingency of Jakob Hemreiner and Pinky Sanchez teaming with former Colony member Soldier Ant. Ultramantis Black takes on Juan Francisco de Coronado. Eddie Kingston will go one-on-one with the newcomer Kevin Conran, who we haven't even seen in action yet.
Formerly known as Kid Cyclone.
Yeah. And the open challenge from Sidney Bacabella to face his Wrecking Crew in a 5 versus 5 Atomicos match has been answered. Last week we revealed Dasher Hatfield was going to be one of them. He has now been joined up by his tag team partner, Mr. Touchdown, Gentleman Jervis Cottonbelly, the Spirit Dragon Shinron, and Princess Kimberly.
That is an eclectic group right
to
there.
create the opposing team to the Wrecking Crew. Good luck to them, but all eyes are going to be glued to the main event. 2 former compatriots of Fist will go one-on-one. Chuck Taylor versus Icarus. Icarus defending the Grand Championship against the Kentucky Gentlemen. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
These guys have a lot of history as partners, not so much as rivals, and I'll be interested to see how that kind of creates their in-ring chemistry.
Yeah, the only time they ever really went against each other was when Icarus started to stand up for Sugar, and they had the tag team matches against him and against Taylor and Gargano.
Yeah. And then we got some February shows. February 20th, AIW brings us I Choose You. Cute cover to this one. It's Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, and a purple train. Yes. We've got Eddie Kingston versus Ethan Page in their Dream Partners tag team match. So they each get to pick their dream partner. I'm curious to see who these guys are going to choose.
I'm very intrigued about that.
I touched on last week, Kingston's got a lot of former partners and allies, and plenty of people he could probably just pick out of blue if it's a dream partners. If he could pick anybody,
Just gonna pick Kevin Steen.
who knows? Maybe could happen. I haven't seen Kevin Steen in a long
Yeah,
time.
I heard Kevin Steen retired.
We also have a match that I think is going to be very interesting. Probably going to be very good wrestling-wise, but I'm curious to see the different styles here. Colt Cabana to go one-on-one with Chris Sabin.
Ooh.
A technical high flyer versus the very, very technically sound wrestler, and comedian Colt Cabana.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
And then the absolute title is going to be on the line. Tim Donst defends against Ricky Shane Page, one of their top baby faces. And then the 27th of February, PWG will be back in Reseda, California, ready to go. We love these guys too. Cedric Alexander versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Back to Japan.
I call it the Ring of Honor match. We know the Beaver Boys, Alex Reynolds and Josh Silver, are going to debut. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, the Monster Mafia, they're going to be making their debut. Drew Gulak returns to PWG to face Chris Hero. Speedball Mike Bailey is going to make his debut. He's going to go against Biff Busick. Brian Cage and Uhaa Nation, two big dudes, are going 1-on-1 versus...
You did the same thing last week.
I know, right? I am bad at this game. They're going to be going 1+1 on 1+1 against the Young Bucks.
So 2 big dudes versus 2 not big dudes.
But all these
all
dudes can
flyers.
do flippies.
Yeah.
He dubbed it Big Flippy versus Little Flippy.
Yeah, big flippy team versus little flippy
I
team.
feel like little flippy team's gonna get squished.
It's a good possibility.
Like, not that I think this will be a squash match, but
Those big dudes.
yeah, like
You're
when
gonna
big
get
dudes
squished whether you
flip
like
on
it or
the little
not.
dudes.
They're getting squished, not squashed.
And in the main event, Roderick Strong, the new PWG champion, is going to be defending against Trevor Lee. Should be a good match, and that should be the main event. But as we know from what happened at the last show, the main event could just be a precursor to the
Anything
real
can
main
happen.
event.
Yeah.
But that's upcoming shit. Good kind of shit, not the bad kind of shit, not the smelly kind of shit. The wrestling shit.
This wrestling is the shit.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. If you have other promotions that you want us to highlight, let us know. We want, we're giving you this information on a lot of the well-known promotions, a lot of promotions that get a lot of attention already. Do you have a local promotion that just kind of like, hey, give these guys a shout-out on one of your episodes? We'll do it. Link us to their Facebook, a website, something. We'll put it down because we link up all our favorite promotions down here in the comments for our indie news videos.
Indeed.
Like, favorite, subscribe. Check out the playlist. We've got emails, Twitters, and Facky Book.
Yeah.
And Tumblr.
But just so you know, I don't know about these two, but I'm gonna be brutally honest. If you tell us about the promotion and I hate it, that's what I'm gonna say. So.
Yeah. We do reserve our right to say that your local promotion does suck.
Yeah.
If it indeed does suck.
Right.
This is a wrestling opinion show. If we don't like it, we're going to say we don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your promotion might be the Titus O'Neil of promotions.
Yeah. There's got to be one.
Somewhere. Hopefully it's like a Highlander. There can only be one.
Yeah.
But that's it for indie news.
And
5 matches not defeated.
Yeah. And speaking of upcoming stuff, more videos.
What?
Yeah, there's one coming next if you just let it play.
That might be the smoothest segue we've ever had out of an indie news ever.
That's why I'm back.
I'll miss having you around for the second half of the week. This guy's a tool.